Hey everyone, it's Jack from Cultaholic.com, back again with another news update. We have some news on the potential future of Enzo Amore, obviously a very serious situation there. Also some news on tonight's SmackDown and a massive segment that's probably going to take place there. And also some news about Roman Reigns' ideal future opponent for Wrestlemania 35. Let's waste no further time and get straight into all of the news. First of all, Enzo Amore has updated his Instagram for the first time in a long while. It was simply a picture of some Jordans, which he obviously wore in the ring rather than wrestling boots, hanging over a telephone wire. So that seems to imply that he's hanging up his boots, or his Jordans, I guess, and retiring from professional wrestling. Now, I must point out, of course, that the case against Enzo Amore is still very much open. About 3 weeks to a month ago, it was reported that all the charges had been dropped and everything like that, but then shortly afterwards, Ryan Satin of PW Insider reported that was false. He contacted the police to ask whether the case was still open, and it very much was. So I think this seems to imply that Enzo is indeed retiring from the ring. He is cutting his ties to professional wrestling, and I guess we'll continue to report on his case as it develops. Another possible sort of interpretation of the post could be that he's looking forward to pastures new, but still within the wrestling industry, that he's sort of accepted that he's not going to go back to WWE and could potentially, move into a different promotion. But I think unless he's absolutely unequivocally proven innocent, I think a wrestling promotion would be pretty foolhardy, to take him on board. I think it looks like a retirement post, but then again, as we know in wrestling, retirements don't necessarily mean permanent. So yes, as I said, we'll continue to update you on the whole Enzo Amore case as it develops, but it looks like it's really moving forward at a slow pace, so I don't know when the next update will arrive. In other news, WWE have announced a few segments for tonight's SmackDown, but the most interesting one of all is Miz TV. Miz has, of course, moved over to SmackDown from Raw as part of the Superstar shakeup, and it looks as though his guest on Miz TV is going to be Daniel Bryan. That is very exciting indeed. We all know, of course, of the long, slow-burning feud between Miz and Daniel Bryan, one which we never thought would reach a conclusion in the ring because Bryan was injured at the time and had apparently retired. Now that he's been cleared to compete again and has competed again, it looks as though we are going to finally get that Miz versus Daniel Bryan matchup that we've all craved so intensely since that segment on Talking Smack a long time ago, where Miz basically had a go at Daniel Bryan and said, look, you call me a coward for not being able to do my, for not being able to take risks in the ring, for wrestling very safe all of the time. And he said, look at you, you're injured, you've had to walk away from wrestling because you wrestle your style, I wrestle my style, and I'm carrying this company. A lot of it was kind of implied to be off the cuff. Daniel Bryan legitimately apparently walked out of Talking Smack. He was legitimately hurt by the comments, but they've since reconciled and all that sort of thing. And now that Daniel Bryan's fighting fit once again, it looks like we're going to get that match. And I wouldn't be too surprised either if this Miz TV segment tonight turns into a little bit of fisticuffs between the two, and I'm very, very much looking forward to that indeed. A few other things announced by WWE with regards to SmackDown Live. Apparently Charlotte Flair will be cashing in her rematch clause on the current Women's Champion Carmella at Backlash, and there will be a contract signing tonight to, I guess, stir up a bit of sports entertainment drama. I very much doubt that contract signing is going to go down without a little bit of mischief from either one party or the other, or both, who knows. And finally, in an interview with WWE's Spanish language website, Roman Reigns has revealed his ideal opponent for WrestleMania 35, and that opponent is a man we've already talked about in this video, Daniel Bryan. Reigns has obviously already faced Daniel Bryan in a big singles match at a pay-per-view. I think it was Fastlane 2014. I think it was then, 2015, where obviously Bryan was going to challenge for the main event of WrestleMania, but Reigns defeated him, moved on to the main event of WrestleMania 31, and then obviously Seth Rollins inserted himself into the match with his Money in the Bank contract. So that was the last time I can think of that the pair had a big singles match on a pay-per-view. I may be wrong, but that's the last one I can remember. That would be a huge main event of WrestleMania, wouldn't it? I mean, and obviously Bryan would be the babyface going in. Reigns would have a lot of hate and a lot of heat if he was to win that match from the fan base. He also said that if that match wasn't a possibility, he would love to have another Shield triple threat match. The last time the Shield triple threat took place was at Battleground 2016, just before the brand split, or just after the brand split, to determine where the WWE Championship would end up. And the champion, Dean Ambrose, won that match, taking the belt to SmackDown, where it currently still resides. Now, I think that match was a little bit disappointing personally, and I know a lot of people share that opinion. It could have been far better if it had focused more on the intricate history of the Shield and all the betrayal and all the camaraderie between the trio, but instead it was more about, I guess, the brand split. All of the general managers were at ringside and it was kind of overshadowing the whole thing. If they were to do it again, it's definitely a match worthy of main eventing a WrestleMania, and I think they could do it a lot better. All three guys have probably improved in the ring since then. Rollins is probably still at that very good level, but I think Reigns and Ambrose have certainly developed since then, and I just really want to see it again, and I think they could do it far more justice than that last match at Battleground 2016. But again, this was just an interview that Roman Reigns gave to WWE's Spanish language website. I don't know if that's actually a hint, a window into WWE's long-term future booking plans for WrestleMania 35, or whether it's just his own personal feelings, but it's certainly two matches that I would be interested in seeing. That's all for now. Thank you very much for watching this news piece. I've been Jack from Cultaholic.com. You can follow me on Twitter at JackTheJobber. You can follow all of us at Cultaholic, and you can check out our Patreon as well, patreon.com/Cultaholic. Remember, anything that you decide to donate to us will be reinvested back into the company to create better content for you, and that's one of many reasons why you should never forget to join us.